Good morning. Realized I've forgotten you people, and you might be wondering if I've had another stroke. Sorry to report, no, haven't. So you'll have to suffer a little bit more with me. So, it's Friday. It's 5 weeks after my stroke, and how are things going? Let's see. I've met with my physiotherapist 3 times this week. I'm happy to report she continues to push me, and I'm getting better at what she's making me do. In fact, she finds new and interesting ways to torture me. So, not torture, really. No, there's no waterboarding involved or anything. It's just she pushes me, and that's a good thing. Um, Met with my occupational therapist. Probably only need to see her one more time. Woo! There'll be more speech stuff to do. More speech stuff to do. Don't know when, but I will. Um, all in all, it's been pretty decent. Uh, yeah. Well, as decent it can be for having a stroke. Um, what other? Oh, I'd like to say thank you to my work family. Yes, yes, thank you to my work family. What you did for me was very appreciated. Wasn't really expecting that, to be quite honest, but I'd like to thank you. Yeah, it's very much appreciated and will go to good use. Um, but that being said, you know, I just want to make sure everybody knows that that was very humbling, and I'm very appreciative. Appreciative. Thank you. Um, Luckily, the weather here in Aurelia has been relatively cooperative. Yesterday got a bit of hail. That was a bit freaky. Today it's a bit overcast and drab. You know, it is what it is. However, things are progressing fairly well. Um, Doing some things right now that my speech therapist told me to do. I'm working on a few things on the computer, just trying to build up the ability to stay focused on one task, use a computer, and use my language skills all at the same time. Um, I'm getting better at the wobble board, getting more, more productive on the stationary bike. Kicked up the resistance a notch or two today. Still was able to maintain about 5.2 kilometers over 10 minutes, roughly. Not the same amount that I'd done the other day, where I did almost 6 kilometers in 10 minutes. But I kicked up the resistance, so I'm just getting used to having that as a thing, right? Um, gotta call my work insurance to see if I can get another eye test, because I think my vision might have changed slightly after the stroke. I think. I just want to make sure. See if they'll cover a new vision test. If not, cover new eyeglasses. If not, I think I can float that now. Really, this week's been a pretty decent week. I've had 3 appointments with my physiotherapist this week. Each appointment has built on the successes of the one before that and built in some new challenges. So it was quite rewarding. Um, yeah, I will tell my physiotherapist to challenge me, and she does. Um, I'm just going to report that I hate beanbags. Yes, I hate beanbags. Yeah, she will get out this bucket filled with beanbags and she will throw them at the ground and then tell me to go get them. Right? Thank God she hasn't worked in a color drill yet, because they're color coded beanbags. Like, go get the blue, go get the pink, go get the magenta. Right? Luckily, she hasn't done that. And if you're watching this, not an idea. No, we'll just pretend that never happened. Really? I ran into a couple people during the course of my week um, who have had strokes or know people that have had strokes. One person I ran into, I didn't know, or you really couldn't tell they had a stroke. And they had a stroke when they were 39, and that was more than 20 years ago. And they look really well for their presentation. You'd never know they had a stroke. And then I was at a friend's for dinner, and their mother basically said that, I'm doing really well for, what I could have had and how I ended up. So that's a bit encouraging, to be quite honest. Unfortunately, there is no cookie cutter for strokes, right? There is no, complete predictive model. So everything they're working off of is historical data, right? Your stroke may be a little bit more or less unique than someone else's stroke. So there is no direct comparison to anyone else's stroke experience. That being said, a left brain stroke and a right brain stroke, there are definitives what will happen during a left brain or during a right brain. An ischemic versus a hemorrhagic, right? Ischemic, they're more recoverable. That's what I had. Yeah, that's the quick little, blood clot or shut off to blood to the brain, right? That's where they give you the wonder drug and it pretty much saves your life. The hemorrhagic, that's where the floodgates open and you bleed into your brain. Those are bad and drastic, and they take a lot more to overcome than ischemic. So I lucked out. I had an ischemic stroke. I didn't have the hemorrhagic. I lucked out. It was a fairly minor stroke. That being said, does that mean I'm 100% today as I was 5 weeks ago? No. I still have problems bending over. Balance when I close my eyes can be an issue. I still have issues doing certain things. It is what it is. There's really not much I can do about that, except practice. If you've had the good misfortune of having a stroke, and you have a great clinical team like I have, my physiotherapist, she's amazing. My speech path, only met him once, and he's on vacay right now, but is going to develop a plan for me to follow. And my occupational therapist, she was great. They'll give you exercises to do, right? Such as, my orange medical Play-Doh, which I got from my occupational therapist. I still practice the exercises she gave me. My physiotherapist gave me, or has given me, a bunch of things to do at home, and I try to do them as often as I can. Do I forget to do them sometimes, or as often as I should? Yes. I'm a man. I've had a stroke. I forget things. Get over it. Are there instances where I try to push myself more than maybe I should? I'm still guilty of that, completely. But if you've had the good misfortune of having a stroke and you have a clinical team that is, trying to challenge you and push you and get you back to where you need to be, that's their job, right? You're not supposed to like them some days. That's their job. Their job is to push you to get you where you need to be, right? And you need to listen to them, and you need to follow through. If they give you exercises or things to do at home, you need to follow through with that. And you need to create ways at home for you to develop strategies and own your own rehab. If you're not willing to own your own rehab, why are you even going, right? And I'm going to admit, I started out with a little bit of a mobility problem, right? I was overcautious. I had weakness on my right side. I couldn't turn my head, and that is slowly going away, right? That is slowly going away. Will I have long-term issues? I don't know. Don't know yet. It's too soon. Do I want to have long-term issues? No. Who would? Am I going to accept the fact that I might have issues? If I have to, I have to, but I'm not willing to get there yet. But ultimately, with your rehab, if you're not willing to do the work, why are you going? Right? If you're not willing to do the work for it's your rehab, right? You've got to do it. If you're not willing to do your rehab, why are you even wasting the time of the professionals that are to help you, right? And the great news is, it's free, right? It doesn't cost you a dime because it's covered by OHIP, right? At least in Ontario. I live in the province of Ontario, so everything for my stroke has been completely covered by either my work medical plan or the government medical plan. And if anyone in the States has watched any of my videos and you want me to do a video on realistic healthcare costs under a socialist healthcare system, I'll happily tell you exactly what my stroke cost. Yeah. And then I'll tell you what my stroke would have cost in the States. You know, it's pretty easy, right? If I lived in the States, my stroke would have cost a lot of money, and because I live in Canada, my stroke cost me almost nothing. Except for, 3 months off work, a little bit of brain damage. But, okay, whoa. You there, yeah. That I know you, and you're about to tell me you were already brain damaged. Shut up. You're just making up an excuse now. Yeah, I know that. Okay, just get over it. But ultimately, my message today is enjoy your rehab, right? Yes, there are days at rehab that are not going to be fun. There are days at rehab that are not going to be easy. And then there's days where you're going to have a part easy day, and then your therapist, whatever type that may be, is going to push you. Or they're going to want you to push yourself when you get home, and you're not going to want to do it. Right? Now is not the time to curl up. Now the time is to rock up, man up, and get it done. Or person up, because we live in Canada. Okay? So, and there's going to be parts of your therapy that you're going to hate. Me, I hate beanbags. Not a fan. So, ultimately, you've got to find a way to enjoy your rehab as best you can. I realize it sucks. Trust me, if I could be at work right now, I'd happily be at my desk. But sadly, that's not in the cards. And if you like what you've seen here over the past 5 weeks, and you enjoy what you've been watching, please like, share, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Let them know what a stroke or post-stroke experience looks like. That's kind of what this is here for. It's a bit educational, a bit of fun. Let my family and friends and people I don't know and I'm learning to know, or learning to know me, a little bit more about what a stroke looks like, or the aftermath of said stroke. And if you happen to see either in yourself or someone else the signs or symptoms of a stroke, that being a facial droop, slurring of speech, stuttering, inappropriate word usage for situation or context, inability to smile properly. Yeah, you can't do this. Right? They kind of do this. Right? Also, inability to raise both arms either equally or effectively. Right? Inability to stand properly. Weakness generally in the body, or weakness on one side. Please immediately put that person in a position of comfort and then dial 911. Something so simple could save a life.